Shure SM58. I thought it might be interesting to do a comparison between my USA model, I don't know what vintage, when they were making them in the USA, a later one, which I think is made in Mexico, though I'm not certain, and this one is the Beta, not the Beta A. Might be interesting. The difference between the Betas and the 58, as far as I know, obviously the frequency is different. These have a neodymium magnet, so higher output, and there are probably some other differences. You can check that out. If you look at the charts that should be on screen anytime soon, you can see that they're quite, well, I suppose broadly similar. The Beta, with the solid line that's there, you can see drops off quite high up, above 200 Hertz, about 300, whereas it looks like the straight SM58 goes to about 100 and something Hertz before the bass cuts off. Through the middle, they're both quite flat. As we get higher up, you can see the Beta has got a steeper peak at about 4 kilohertz, and then another's around 10. And the SM58, whether you'll be able to hear these things, I don't know. The SM58 starts its peak lower down, and on the Beta you can see the proximity traces, which I like to see, but on the version I found there, thanks to recordinghacks.com, it's a very good website. The 58 hasn't got the proximity traces. Fit, finish and feel. I think we'll have some close-ups. Just holding them here like this. Very similar, but let's have a closer look. This is the USA model that I have. Says, you can't see probably, but made in USA, unidirectional. Not sure if that's original, I suspect not. Been replaced. This is, I don't know what era this is, newish. Doesn't say where it's made. And this is the Beta, not the Beta A. Doesn't say where it's made. I believe these actually are hypercardioid. The other two are cardioid. All of them, top comes off. This can unscrew as well there. There's a transformer in there, which we won't do. You can get many replacement grills. I'm not sure if this is an original. Certainly the foam's not original, because I remember replacing that. Foam on top there. This one, pretty soggy. It's had its day really. I could probably replace it, but not now. The newer one. Good threads. Foam there with some indentation on it. And pretty springy. Again, foam in there is good too. The Beta has its rubber ring around there. Good threads again. Oh, now yeah, but be careful with the Beta, because very strong magnets and they pull. You can really feel it. Neodymium, I believe. And the foam seems to be in good order. The foam in there is good as well. May have been replaced. Be careful with the magnet. Generally speaking, the fit and the feel is good. I like the finish. It's quite grippy. The older one, of course, it's been worn, It seems to have a slightly different colour, and it looks as if it was originally not so grippy, but it's difficult to say because it's been worn. Not such a nice thread, but I don't know if this is an American basket. Using a standard nitric connector with the rubber ring around there, pretty good. This is the newer one, firmer. It's a firmer fit. That one might be worn, of course. And this one, I noticed something different about it. It's quite a push, very firm. Sometimes if these are loose, they can create rattling as you're singing, kind of rattling noise through the mic, so it's good for them to be firm. This does have, you won't be able to see I don't think, a rubber ring. I don't know if that's been added later. You can buy them. If you've got a loose mic, you can buy them and fit them in. Rode do them. This isn't the colour of the Rode one. It looks as if it might be original to the microphone. So very nice. Weight, this one I think, yeah, this one feels a little bit lighter. Don't know if it's a different body. Don't know what material that is. Let's see whether anything can be made of this. I'm going to get rid of the Rode and straight to the old USA 58 and see what I notice initially. Well, what can you say? What I notice immediately is that and a kind of forcefulness, firmness down about there. If I bring it in, I notice no real bottom end, can get a bit quacky. Bring it closer still. Hope I'm not overloading. I think I might be a bit. I would say it's a fairly contained sound. I hear the top, but I don't hear it go very high. But nonetheless, it's there. The intelligibility is there. I hear the bottom, but I don't hear it go very low. It sounds, frequency-wise, it sounds quite contained, but with some shaping. And detail-wise, a little bit sort of veiled. I wonder if that's the old foam. I don't think so. I think it's just the nature. So if I move straight over to the newer version, we'll see if I notice anything immediately as that. I'm on the newer one now. I've tried to match these up. I'm on the newer one now. I've tried to match them up. I'm going to go back between these two later. Something is a little bit different. And let's see if I can figure what that is in a while. Moving over to the beta. And now we're on the beta. Now we're on the beta. A bit more breath noise, I notice, could be me. And I notice a bit more of that kind of thing going on there. Yeah, and when I go there, I notice it's got more low end. It's got more low end. It's got still quite a bit of that. Let's just go between them sound-wise for the minute. So now this is the Beta 58A. No, the Beta 58, I beg your pardon. This is the Beta 58. This is the SM58. This is the Beta 58. Had it a bit too close. This is the Beta 58. This is the Beta 58. This is the Beta 58. This is not the Beta 58. This is not the Beta 58. I would say that it's almost like the Beta is like an SM58 turned up. And a little bit more, but still with that. Wow. If that was intentional, I'm sure it must have been. That must be quite some. No, they figured that one out. Quite some engineering. So yeah, to keep it in the family sound, the KSM8 is completely different. There's a video on that. I might even go and get it later. Do a comparison. It might be interesting. So this is the modern, current SM58, current SM58, current SM58, current SM58, Beta 58. Yeah, definitely more of that and more of that. This is the Beta. This is the Beta. And this is the USA. This is the USA. This is the, and immediately I thought this USA one sounds sweeter. So we've got an idea about that. We'll do the proximity and stuff in polar patterns in a minute. Let's just compare then the USA and the current SM58. This is the USA. Make sure I know where I am. USA 58. This is the current 58. This is the current 58. This is the current 58. This is the USA 58. This is the I know what it is. Whether it matters is something entirely different. What I notice myself doing, self-doing, this one is sweet. And what I notice myself doing when I go to the other one is trying to replicate this. So I do something slightly different. I would say that's a bad thing, isn't it? I should be completely, but seeing as these things are so subtle anyway, it's actually quite useful if I notice that happening. Because that's what happens with your voice when you're singing as well. You're trying to get, and you start, along with all your singing and stuff you're doing, you start trying to fiddle around, trying to get the tone you want, because what you're hearing back from your system isn't what you want. So it's very subtle, but it kind of goes on in the background. I think that's how you can strain and all the rest of it if you're not careful with that. So let's just see if we can. This one is very nice. I can do with more, as you know, either side. But if I'm going to have a kind of transistor radio sound, yeah. So this is the USA. And this is the current. This is the current. Let's see the lower end as well. This is the current. This is the current. This is not the current. This is not the current. Bringing them right in. This is not the current. This is not the current. This is the current. USA. It's nice. USA. Non-USA. This one's a little bit muddier, isn't it? Something, frequency is a bit more pronounced there. Okay, that's the end of that then. I think we'll go on to the usual things. I'll do the usual things just on these two, because USA one, they're not available. So this one is. So first of all, pops, S's and breath. Pops, S's and breath. Going to be clumsy then. Pops, S's and breath. Pops, S's and breath. Pops, S's and breath. Pops, S's and breath. Who are you? 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 Pops, not bad, you know. Pops, S's and breath. Pops, S's and breath. Who are you? 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 So this is the regular 58. On axis, coming round to the side, coming round to the side, coming round to the side, at the side where it's maximum rejection, really. At the side, no, the back should be maximum rejection, shouldn't it? Back, the rejection there. A bit of a tone to it, bit of a tone there. So you may have feedback problems in that area. There, and on axis. This is the beta. Coming round to the side, 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 coming round to the side. If this is hypercordia, this should be maximum rejection. Coming round to the back, coming round to the back, and a bit of a lobe there, fairly low. Coming back round to the side, coming round to the side. So that's hypercardioid. We may as well, while I'm at it, do the USA. On axis, coming round to the side, coming round to the side, coming round to the side, coming round to the side. There's a rejection coming round to the back there. Handling noise, I think all of them, from what I've been doing, sound pretty good to me. This is the beta. Well damped. Current. Wow, possibly even better damped. Very dead sounding. USA, bit noisier. Here's my hum test, which is unscientific and possibly even useless, I'm not sure, but I hold it up to near the transformer on the desk. Hums, but it has to be pretty close, which you wouldn't do, of course. This is the current production. I'd say much the same, perhaps a little bit more, much the same. This is the beta. Very much quieter in that regard. Remember, this one they say has the humbucking coil, hum cancelling coil, and the beta A has a transformer, so maybe that makes a difference. I'm just wondering then, if it makes me feel like doing anything, what do I notice? If I'm just using them, it makes me want to go there a bit, 'cause it seems to kind of favor that place in my voice. Oh, would I bother going down, oh, would I bother going down? Not really. Well, I would if I had to, but I feel a bit cheated down there. I don't have the so I tend to want to push. Pushing low notes is no good. You just push more air through and the whole thing falls apart. So that's where all this microphone thing does actually feed back to your singing, because in the back, depending on who you are and what you're into, I'm not laying down any kind of law. If you're very much a performer, you probably don't care. You just want to get out there. But if you're very much into your instrument, and it being fiddled about with puts you off balance slightly in the back of your performance the whole time. There's a slight unease. So this one, even as I'm talking, I think, do I want to do breathy things? I don't particularly, because the breathy things, they sound kind of raspy, the breath there. Doesn't sound particularly attractive to me. I don't mind that. It cuts through a bit. It's got its own kind of thing going on. Let's try the other one. Does this make any difference to the way I want to? Well, of course, compared to the other one, it's less lit. So I want to stay around there and play with those kind of places, 'cause it seems to be alright. Yeah. That breathy falsetto thing isn't very rewarding either. Again, let me go and get the KSM8. Bear with me. I'm back. May as well whilst I'm doing this. So I was thinking again, this one now is the current production, round about there. It seems to favour to me. It seems to like doing that. Then it drops off. So I'm liking that kind of place. KSM8. This is the KSM8. Yeah, this is the all that immediately I can hear is clearer. Is it? Yes. Is it? Is it on a home? And if I want to go down, it's still quite firm. But if I want to go down, it's got a little bit of. If I want to go down. And this is now the beta, and yeah, still that, and there is, do I want to go down with the beta? Not so much, do I want to go down with the beta, the beta. The KSM8, the KSM8, the KSM8, yes, the KSM8, the KSM8, I'm liking, I don't know, this is just a natural thing, I just wanted to keep playing there with that. And even as I'm talking, I'm quite enjoying it on the KSM8. As we know from before, I could do with even more low end and a little bit more high end, but you know, this is very nice. Anyway, it's not about the KSM8, it was about the SM58. Hope it was some use. See you next time.